got me down again.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be extra bonkers, and today we're going to go over the testimony of a recent homeowner of a new construction house and basically warn y'all of potential pitfalls during this process. I think this is especially important to listen to anyone that is considering purchasing a new home. There's many warning signs here, and overall, you guys, this is an absolute nightmare. So if you guys can, please show this couple some love. Obviously, it takes a tremendous amount of courage for them to speak out and warn other consumers about the potential of what can happen. And what better place than YouTube to allow this consumer to speak? YouTube is one of the best platforms to allow normal people like us and consumers to have a voice. So definitely give her a lot of love for having enough courage to warn you guys. And I do want to make a point that this is her testimonial, that this is her opinion. But regardless, I have reviewed a ton of emails, videos, a structural assessment report. And without further ado, here is the story of Mireya and Mark. Mireya, Mark, first of all, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for having the courage. I wish it was under better circumstances, but I definitely appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you guys sharing your testimonial. First of all, how, overall, you guys considering, how are you guys?
Okay, now
Yeah.
a little better than we were a few months ago.
Yeah, good. Well, what I wanted to do first, and we talked about this a little bit, we really want to get into your testimonial. We want the viewers to understand, potential pitfalls in the process. And you guys, from what I could tell, you've went through a tremendous amount of pitfalls. But what I want to do first is, I really, unfortunately, the way society works is a lot of times society will potentially victim shame people. They will think that if you guys did anything wrong at all, that it gives justification for builders and professionals to take advantage of you. So I think it's really important that we kind of confront that up front, just to let everyone know that who you are and what happened, instead of kind of running from that. So again, my heart goes out to you, but I really think, we start out with 7 questions. Okay. So I want to ask you 7 questions, and we're really going to get this started. Okay.
Okay.
And I know the mold inspector is on the way. So if you guys have to go to answer the door for the mold inspector, go ahead and do that. But first question. Okay, Mireya, number 1 question. And I preach about this. Did you have a realtor?
No, we didn't.
Okay. Now, again, this is a new home build. Second question is did you get a home inspection?
No, we didn't get a home inspection.
We didn't think we needed one buying a brand new house.
Yeah. And then third question is did you guys sign the final closing paperwork knowing that potential problems existed?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you know the extent of those damages when you closed?
Definitely no.
No.
Okay. Now, do you guys have a structural assessment report? Again, do you guys have a structural assessment report from a licensed professional engineer that notes improper construction practices, elevation change that could indicate construction defect?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Now, so last question before we get started. Again, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. It's just so important to ask these questions for our viewers. Having said that, answering all those questions, no realtor, no inspection, you guys still signed. Will you please explain why people should take you seriously and listen to your story?
I think that people need to be more informative and not be so naive and trustful of companies that they just show you a website with all the beautiful things and you trust. But yes, we were naive, and I wish we would have people telling us, do a little more research before you purchase your home.
So another question is, did they tell you that the damages were taken care of during your final walkthrough?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
The damages that we assessed, told them, which was the plywood, they told us that they had taken care of it before the walkthrough.
Okay. And what was the builder that you purchased from?
We purchased from Lennar.
Okay. Basically, you noticed damages, you addressed the damages, you were in a walkthrough, They said, according to you, that they addressed them. So when did you guys actually find out about the damages?
We started living in here. We could hear cracks on the upstairs that we didn't notice before because either we both were up or we both were down, so nobody was walking upstairs. So that's when we started noticing there is something more than just a little repair that they said that they need to do. When we got the engineer to come in, and they said that they were going to replace some of the stuff. We asked to have the whole carpet upstairs removed so we could see everything.
Yeah.
And they were kind of like, no, don't do that because our carpet person will do that. It seems like the more that we open problem, there were 10 problems that could come out of that problem.
And I think you were telling me that Mark actually removed the carpet
He did.
himself. And it was actually Mark having to do that, taking the initiative himself. You guys probably got tired of waiting for Lennar, and you were also worried about what's going on with my house. So Mark removed the carpet and uncovered the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg per se. So just really, really wild. And we'll go into the emails here in a minute, and I'll show the viewers where you've actually addressed these things prior to closing. But I want to ask you the 3 questions that I asked you in the beginning. I want to ask these questions over again. Again, because I want the viewers to understand how this process can potentially work and how easy it is to really innocently get sucked in. So the first question I asked you if you had a realtor, and you said no. Can you explain to us why you didn't have a realtor?
We were moving from California, so we were not present. We asked my sister to look for a house for us, and she learned from a friend that Lennar was having new houses built. And since we wanted a new home, so we didn't have to worry about anything else, so we just wanted to come in and move in and not worry about any fixing. She went in and gave the information, our names and stuff. And since we did that, once you do that, you cannot bring a realtor. They have to deal with you yourself.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize that. And that's actually common with a lot of builders. If you go in to a lot of new builders without representation and you give them your name and number, they can put your information in their system and prevent you from prevent any commission being paid from them anyways to a realtor.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't realize that process can actually like harm you. And honestly, and even if you wanted a realtor, a lot of people would have to pay for the realtor themselves. So, they put you in their system. You wanted to bring a realtor, you got shut down because it's against their policy. Is that right?
Yep. Once you go in and sign up, that's it. You deal with them privately. You don't bring a realtor.
That's unfortunate. Now, the second question is, why? Okay, so about the inspection, and here's the thing: the entire transaction you guys had, from the sounds of it, absolutely no representation. Okay, society is saying that you guys need to be as smart as these new home builders who essentially have a monopoly on the process. Which reminds me, did you use Lennar Mortgage as well?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Did you use Lennar's title company as well?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And you had no representation at all?
No.
Okay. And at any point, do you remember them suggesting you get a home inspection?
No.
I don't remember ever. They didn't.
Yeah. Now, again, going to the third question. So, some people say, oh, you signed the paperwork, it's your fault, blah, 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 right? And I think that's a really naive attitude to have. You can't expect consumers to understand an 80-page document. Some of these contracts, these new homebuilders are 80 pages. So can you go into the final walkthrough? And, when you were doing that final walkthrough, again, without representation, you addressed these concerns and they told you they were being worked on and they were addressed. Is that correct?
Yes.
They had like 2 days to address the problems before they would release a home to us. So, we had some things written out and we disclosed to them that, some of these issues need to be taken care of. And they said they were going to be addressed before they gave us the keys to move in. So,
and I'm going to pull that email up here in a minute. But I think that's important to recognize, if, and I wasn't there, I don't know, but if someone misled me on a final walkthrough, and then later on I remove the carpet, find out that the reality is they did not properly address those concerns, I would be a little upset.
they put Band-Aids on the problems that they said they addressed. There were certain areas. We knew there was a problem with the subfloor because of the rain that came through, and the roof wasn't protected. They didn't paper it, so there was water that was just on the plywood. When we did our own little walkthrough, like Mireya said, we'd come down here and just kind of check to see how they were coming along, how with the house, and we were kind of getting excited, like she said as well, that we were getting excited to move into a new home, and we wanted to see if they were moving along like they said they were going to have it built by a certain amount of time. And but yeah, we told them about the floor and our concerns and stuff like that, and then once we did move in, they said they fixed a couple of the areas, and they just cut out some of the dry rot, right, from the mixture in the water that was just sitting on the subfloor for I don't know how long.
And I saw the email from Val with the 43 additional items that they added that needed to be fixed. Right. Shocking that you guys even closed, but let's tell our audience, and then we're going to go into your YouTube video. Did you guys closed November 17th of 2021? Okay, they closed on their Lennar house November 17th of 2021, and that was followed by almost 10 months of additional construction. Essentially, your house turned into a construction zone for 9 months. Is that fair to say?
Correct. Yeah. It is very fair to say that.
And is it also fair to say that you actually recognized issues from the very beginning of the build? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you addressed those issues. And as far as we could tell, the issues weren't handled properly. I'm going to pull up y'all's YouTube video right now. We're going to take a look at their YouTube video, you guys. They're going to moderate a little bit, and they're going to show you the type of damage to their house during the construction process. So we'll go through the construction process, the closing process, and then we're going to go to round 2 of construction so I can show you what they really had to go through. Right now, we're just asking questions, right? We haven't even got to the good stuff yet. So not good stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm just saying the video, actually what's happening here, a picture's worth 1,000 words, they say. So I'm going to pull this up. Okay, this is your YouTube video. I'm going to play about a minute of it. This is the construction process right here. Did you guys notice any damages on the foundation? I'm not in construction personally. I don't know what to look for.
Well, we could tell, like in the family room, that the foundation where they laid the tile was off. It was probably off by 3/4 of an inch, and they replaced some of the tile, and they said they fixed it. And then, we moved in, and then we noticed that now they really need to address this a little bit better. So they had to pull the tile up, and redo it.
All right, I'm going to keep going here. So basically, no leak yet. And this is Miami, Florida. Okay, then we're going to get to the leak, and then we'll talk about the leak here in a minute. So here's the leak. And this water was from the rain, is that correct?
Yes.
And this water basically sat on all the subfloor and the wood for how long?
4 weeks. I would say like maybe 2 to 3 weeks.
All
because
right,
it kept raining. It kept raining, so it never really had the chance to really dry it out because every day it kept raining. And as you can see, the damage of the wood, that's not something that is for one day rain. It's from being exposed there for a long time.
And I'm so confused. How do they even let the water in, and why didn't they do something about it? Did they respond to you at all on that?
No, we kept telling them. I remember telling Anna that it was raining and they should have put the plastic on top so the rain wouldn't come inside. And yeah. That's the extent of what we got. We asked them, this needs to be addressed before they continue the construction. and obviously it wasn't.
And is this possible mold that we're looking at here? I mean, I see it looks like water. It's dark. And I know that we're doing a mold inspection today. So we're having a mold inspection come today to verify this. But is that what we're looking at here? Is that from the water leakage up there? Is that what we see here?
Yeah, this is on the uh, yeah, this is the part that was mostly damaged, and I always wonder, is that mold, because that got darker
Yeah.
as the time passed. See, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's mold.
Well, we'll find out today. Well, not today. They're coming today. I think the report will be done in 72 hours. But I mean, let's fast forward a little bit, and I'm going to show them the damage. So essentially, and let's make a point to the viewers. This is just the start. This situation gets a lot more detailed. The water leakage basically alerted them, and I don't want to speak on your behalf, but it alerted them to, hey, maybe we should watch the construction process. The reality of the situation is it appears the water leak was just one minor thing compared to what else was found. So let's go and let me fast forward this, y'all, to to the subflooring so I can show the viewers, what happened as the water just sit there. And again, you guys notified the builder about these issues. Is that right?
Yes,
All right, let's play this here. This is pretty bad. This is the upstairs subfloor. Is that right?
correct. Yeah.
And then I mean, obviously it's all buckled. Can you verify, did they replace all of the subfloor to this day?
No.
No.
Okay, let's keep playing. I mean, that is, again, I'm not in construction here. I'm not acting like I am, but from my naked eye, this is bad. It looks bubbled up. I would be concerned about this, and I just don't understand how the water was left there. I don't understand how someone didn't come out and take care of that. I mean, it seems like the entire area
Mhm. Yeah.
is destroyed. The first thing that comes to my mind is why did you guys still close, right? If this damage was here, which appears to be significant damage, why didn't you guys close? Let me start by this, Ashley. First question is how much was your earnest money deposit?
It was $40,000.
Okay, so pretty hard. A lot of people don't realize, how hard it is to walk away from $40,000. But I just wanted to verify to the viewers that, a lot of people just walk away, right? It's easy to walk away. But according to this documentation on April 15th, your earnest money deposit was a whopping $40,000. Is that a lot of money to y'all?
Of course, we work hard for it.
Okay. Now, I also want to bring this email up because this email is from November 5th. You guys closed on November 17th. So you 17, yeah. So you guys closed 12 days after this, and we won't count the weekends. Obviously, it's less with the weekends.
Yes.
But this email is, from what I could see here, addressed to your sales agent. Again, 12 days before closing. So you actually did bring certain concerns up to the sales agent. And I highlighted here, second floor plywood, right, marked in blue. Master bathroom vanity is not level. That's scary. Second floor guest bathroom vanity is not level. Also scary. That there's a family room tile that's sloping 3/4 of an inch. You're also noting significant water damage on the base of all walls from the Gen X living room, laundry room, guest room, hallway into the kitchen, pantry, and refrigerator.
Yes.
So you address these things. Again, this is what's so shocking to me and why representation is so important. And then towards the bottom here, you're saying basically you're upset because you wanted to inspect the damages before they installed carpet. So you go on and you say he was going to take care of it before the carpet was installed. We have pictures of the concerns to share with all the parties needing to go forward. So you felt that they possibly hid the extent of the damages by just throwing on the carpet. Is that correct?
Yeah. And when we asked that day that we went to the walkthrough, we said, "Did you fix it?" Because we can still feel the unevenness. And I remember Alejandro, that was his name. He pulled that a little piece of the carpet from a closet barely like this and said, "See, we fixed it," and then push it back down again. So when you have the attitude of somebody being telling you in that way, we backed up and we were like, "Oh, okay, we don't know, right? We're
Yeah,
not
we're not,
construction engineers. We don't know."
The downstairs concrete, the floor itself wasn't level. I
So
mean,
they
it
have to
wasn't, you know,
shake
there was some inconsistencies. So they had to come in.
and
We
shake
had to
it
move
off.
all our furniture out from the downstairs after they worked on the upstairs and move everything out in the garage, you know. So they brought in some equipment and ground down the concrete to level it out in the living room area and then also in the family room and hallways throughout. So, yeah. It was a big
so so you guys close, you move in November, you reach back out to Lennar. They're not responding to you right away. They're not coming out, you know, to take care of this. So you guys get frustrated. You make a YouTube video. You upload that January 19th, 2022. And then I also noticed here, not only that, because at this point you guys are desperate. You're trying to find someone to to fix your house, right? You feel like the subflooring is still damaged. There's potential elevation issues, leveling issues. You're trying to talk to everyone. There's no representation. You guys go as far as to email the loan officer of the transaction on February 2nd, and you know, and he actually responds. And I say this all the time: loan officers work harder than realtors. Okay, most of them, and I'm probably going to get hate for that. But so he responds to you, basically saying he's going to take that YouTube video and he's going to give it to the divisional president. Shortly after that email, you get an additional email from the director of customer care, who calls you and actually goes out to your property after closing to walk your property. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when you finally get them to come out to your property, right? They walk your property and they come up with a list of concerns that total, let's see here, 43 items. Is that correct?
Yes.
So to reiterate, you guys closed on a house. The director walks the house and comes up with 43 additional problems. And does he use his naked eye or is he using tools?
His naked eye.
Okay. And I'm noticing some of these repairs are substantial, like the master bath needs to be reinstalled. There's a misaligned tile in the bath, edges, marbling's missing, I mean, some of these are petty, but some of the stuff looks pretty substantial.
What they didn't know with the naked eye was once they start pulling stuff, that's the kind of worms
Yes.
showed up.
Let's talk about downstairs before we talk about upstairs, because they started downstairs. So they removed all the tile, and this is a security video. It appears here of them shaving down the slab to try to make it level. Is this correct?
Yes.
Now, is that dust in the air that I'm seeing? Is that dust from from what they're doing?
Correct. Yes.
That would seem to me, it looks pretty toxic. It looks pretty poorly ventilated. I don't know about these things, but did y'all feel safe with living in a house with this going on?
Well, they assured us that because I asked before they were going to start shaving, and I started reading about what happens with those fumes. So I asked them, are you guys going to put some kind of filter, or can we have a place to go in the meantime you repair? And they said that they cannot give us a place to live for us to live, so they're just going to put the vents. What happened is that they came to do the vents, but some of the vents downstairs they did not cover, and the air condition is still going on. So that fumes, even though they put the vents there, we were not completely protected from that.
Yeah. And I see here on this email, I see you actually addressed this on April 30th. You actually addressed this with Boris, and basically letting him know that you believe that the dust is carcinogenic. And in addition, you sent him this photo, which appears to be a garage or a room open, and it appears that there's a significant amount of that dust in that room. Is that correct?
Yes.
So at this point of the journey, we're now in February of 2022. We are 5 months after your closing. We didn't even go over the disaster in the closing, but your home is now a construction war zone per se. And now you're worried about, cancerous dust. You address that with them. You feel like they took you seriously when you addressed that?
They, I think they did it because I asked them to. It wasn't like, Mr. and Mrs. We're gonna start shaving, so we need to bring the company to close all the dots. I asked, you guys are gonna start doing that, and nobody's gonna close all the upstairs where we are sleeping.
Mhm.
And they said, oh, okay. So then we have to wait a couple of days or 3 days for the company to come and close everything.
Okay. Now, this is video from, again, you have moved into this house. And from where I'm sitting is y'all should never have been allowed to move in. It's, but we won't go there. So here's a
We moved
video.
into the house, we decorated the house, we furnished the house with new furniture that we have to then, because they were not going, they said that we were supposed to move everything ourselves. So we
Yeah.
moved everything new out to the garage for them to work.
So here's a video when this is downstairs. So they removed did they remove all the flooring on
All
downstairs?
the tile downstairs.
All the
yes.
tile
Crazy.
downstairs. All of it.
After you guys moved in.
Correct.
And this has nothing, potentially it has nothing to do with the water leak. This is a different issue.
This is a different issue, yeah.
That's crazy. And the issue here is all of the flooring got crooked.
Well, it was the tile that they use, that they offer. It wasn't really an upgraded tile, but the tile itself, it's not really accurate in size. So you could really see the inconsistency with the grout and all that. So for them to really, do the job right, I mean, you've got to pull it out, level the floor, because it's not gonna look right even after they redo it. So they had to grind out the concrete.
So what happened is that when we walk on the tile, some of the tile was a little bit, like that. So we will trip.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot walk barefooted in a tile like that, because you're gonna hurt yourself every time it's supposed to be straight, and we didn't have that.
Now, the construction doesn't end in April. The construction keeps going on. I mean, I see an email here. This is in June 3rd, basically with the customer relations manager acknowledging that they're actually removing a tub now, and that tub is upstairs. Like, why are they removing the tub? And then it says here June 6th, they're finally going to start working on the subfloor, and they're going to reinstall and repair the areas of subflooring. So at least they're acknowledging that these damages are existing. And let me pull up the video for you guys. So you could really kind of go over, if you guys don't mind. Let's go over this video, and please just tell our viewers what's going on here. So this is around June, you guys. This is the upstairs. Now, the downstairs, they ripped everything out. They started shaving down the slab. There's all this dust everywhere. This is where they live. Let's go upstairs now, where they're removing the tub. They're checking out the subfloor. And what's really surprising is this appears to have been avoidable. I'm not in construction, you guys. I want to make that clear. And I don't know 100%, but I would think that this was avoidable. So let's take a look here, and you guys just kind of walk us through. And I already see the bathtub. It's lying on the floor, right? And this is 7 months now. We're at about 7 months after your move-in date. Walk us through what's going on.
So what happened is that the area that you see, yes, there was a noise.
Right here?
I mean, every time we walk from our bedroom to the bathroom, there was a squeaky noise and on the video, the other video, you can hear it. And it was a very loud noise. So they were trying to find out where the noise was coming from. So they have to remove all that. This is, if you see this area, that's where the water damage was the most done.
Yeah.
What happened with the tub is, like, when we move in, I'm trying to clean trying to clean the bathroom, and I'm pouring water around the tub because I wanted to clean. And I noticed the water is not staying there. The water is dripping somewhere else. And when I noticed, the back of the tub had a hole that they left it open, so the water was going down there through to the roof. So I started telling Mark, "There's a hole in here." So when they came, um, they noticed that the tub was uneven, and they have to remove the whole tub to get it fixed
And retile the whole area
and
because it
retile
wasn't
the
really
whole
level.
area.
And is this the area that we saw in the YouTube video that was just destroyed?
Yes, those are the areas that are destroyed, that they just barely shave the little peeling and put some kind of cement. That's how they try to fix it.
And here's another video. Show us what's going on here. When I watch this, obviously I see they're trying to level things. I mean, I don't know what's going on. There's a giant hole now in your hallway. I see that. It looks like things are being piece cut. You know, I understand what you guys are saying, you know, with the Band-Aid. I mean, this is what it appears. Again, none of us are in construction, but this just really looks pieced together here. And it really looks avoidable. It looks like they keep just uncovering problem after problem after problem. Look at this hole in your hallway. And this is 7 months. Again, I just can't reiterate this enough. This is 7 months after you closed.
Yeah.
And so,
I don't believe that we have a whole piece of plywood that is there from that is complete. All the plywood around the whole upstairs have pieces cut off.
so I'm gonna pull up another email, and this one was a little bit hard for me to read because I was reading this, and my impression, y'all, and I'm gonna be honest. You can ask my wife. I mean, I almost wanted to shed some tears for you guys because, like, especially when I read the structural assessment report that we'll get to, I was like, these people were all alone. Not only were they all alone, you guys must have felt just an overwhelming amount of stress. Where do you turn? Why is this happening? And you just, from what I could see here, you just wanted your house. You just wanted a normal house. And here's an email from, what is it, Francis, and it just reads really poorly. I'm going to read a little bit of this, but essentially, you know, when I'm reading this, I feel like they're you know, bullying you a little bit. So this says that, you know, basically the NAR has offered or agreed to do things above and beyond. So they're saying they're, you know, basically doing things above and beyond. They put this list here of original items, and then they add another list here. It says items added by you guys for the additional list, essentially saying, oh, well, you added, you know, it doesn't read well. And then on the bottom here, they say upgrades we offered or agreed to as an above and beyond. So you're at this point 8 months into the construction of your own house that you closed on without representational or an inspection. And the above and beyond, from what I can see here, is a tankless water heater and a light switch. Is that right?
Yeah, they did upgrade the carpet
Yeah.
and the foot of the pad, the upstairs, and then the tile downstairs. That wasn't the tile that we bought with the house. So they did upgrade that a little bit, but really wasn't an up. I mean, it was an upgrade. It's a bigger piece tile.
So it will be,
but
so
it was,
will be
they didn't
better.
give us an option of, you know,
They
different types
said
of
this
tile
is
to
what
look
we
at.
have, and
This
this
is
is
the
what we're
color.
going to give you.
So I had to repaint the whole house to kind of go with the new scheme of the tile there, that color. So plus, not only that, I wanted to get the dust off the walls because, you know, after they did all that work, I mean, at least if I get a fresh layer of paint on there, it'll kind of help protect us a little bit better. So.
Yeah, the day that I complained that there was the day that they did the shaving, you could not walk anywhere because there was dust on the air and on the walls. And they sent a cleaning lady, to clean the entire house walls.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked, what am I supposed to do? And I said, well, they sent you. You're supposed to be the one cleaning. And on the phone, she talked to Charlie, which is Charlie, one of the guys, and he said, just wash it off with a wet rag. And when she started doing that, it was like mud. And I said, stop, we're not doing this. And she said, okay, and she left.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how they expected to clean all that dust. I have pictures showing that you see that. I mean, you just go like this and my hand is white.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not what you expect when you move into a brand new house. So I'm going to pull up another video, and then we're going to go into the engineer assessment. But I want to pull up this video because this is apparently after the repairs. Okay, so after the repairs, and I think this is. And tell me, is this downstairs or is this upstairs?
No, that's upstairs.
That's
All right,
upstairs.
so after quote unquote, and this is before the structural assessment was done. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so the repairs are apparently done mostly, right? The subfloor, anyways, and you're putting, what is this, a 2x4 by 12, or what are we looking at here?
Probably 12.
A 12.
Yeah.
So you're putting a 12-foot section down, and it's off by, it looks like over an inch. Is that right?
Yes, a little bit.
Jeez.
Just a little bit. By their standards, if you can put a quarter, it's okay for the floors to be uneven. A quarter.
This looks like you can fit a baby elephant under this.
Yes.
To be honest here. So let me play this. All right, let's keep playing this. So basically, you're just going around, you're checking their work. I mean, and I think you guys should do that. You're the homeowner, and you're probably not liking what you see. So you guys actually order, finally, and I'll make the argument. A licensed professional engineer comes out to your house to do an assessment. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned this assessment to Lennar. Let me pull this up here. Let's see here. You mentioned this to Lennar on August 19th. So on August 19th, the assessment is not done yet, but you're basically warning Lennar 2 weeks ago, the structural engineer came out to check the property. And then you also mentioned, I highlighted here because this was worrying, that Mark actually went to the ER twice for stress-related issues. Is that right, Mark?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that we can really put into words, you guys, how stressful this process can be, how desperate and how stuck. I mean, you guys have $40,000 on the line. You already closed. You told Lennar a structural engineer came out. Mark was in the ER. What happened after that email?
What I recall is they were saying that the structural engineer that they sent already assessed the house and everything was fine. So we just needed to go ahead and put the carpet back on.
Okay.
Discussing it with Mark, we decided let's get an engineer ourselves because we still see the damage. We still can see it. How can they say that it was fine? They never showed us the report. And when we took out the carpet, this is what happened. This is what you can see. This picture is after they repair.
This is after.
After they repair half of the hallway, and they said we're gonna have somebody come in and now place the whole carpet. And we keep telling them there is issues some other places, and they didn't want to address it. That's why they said, Mark, don't take out the carpet. We're gonna have somebody. The carpet company is going to come and remove everything, and then they place it right away. And to me, brought red flags. And I said, there's something that they're trying to hide. Let's get an engineer.
Okay. And that brings us to this right here. This is stamped by an inspector, professional engineer who did an inspection. This is a residential structural assessment report. This report was done on August 15th, 2022. This report was done approximately 9 months after you moved in and approximately 6 months after the repairs. Is that correct? Okay.
They were working, what I mean the repair is the repair of the whole house.
Yes. So let's see what this uncovered. Let's scroll down to the summary. So I'm going to read this for our viewers. So the summary is, first of all, the number one recommendation. Here's the recommendation. Further investigation recommended as the first thing. Okay, so that's not good. Now, the two things, it did note two deficiencies, and this is just as an assessment. If we had an actual report, I'm sure it would be a lot more detailed. But the two deficiencies that this is noting is interior doors and windows, floors, improper construction practices. When I read that, I was like, I can't believe a structural engineer or professional engineer wrote that, right? I can't believe they wrote that. And then the second deficiency is interior doors and windows, floors, zip level, substantial change in elevation. This is what was noted here. And again, this is after you moved in, after repairs, after they said they've addressed things. Someone goes out and is mentioning improper construction practices. This is wild to me. Let's go down to the conclusion. And the conclusion here notes the change of elevation on the second story floor may indicate a construction defect. That's scary. Further investigation by way of removal of entire second story subfloor is needed for more definitive conclusion. So you guys get that report. When I read that report, to me, when I first read that, my heart sank. And it's not because I didn't believe you. I viewed that as incredible boldness to say that, to use that type of language with an inspector, because they don't want to be held liable and they don't want to say the wrong thing. So that's just sad. Did you guys ever give this actual report to Lennar?
We read it to them.
Yes.
We read it to them because they were insisting on placing the carpet without any more fixing. So we said, well, by the way, we got a report, and we read it to them. And a couple of days later, they came, a whole bunch of higher up came and reviewed the whole flooring.
Okay.
I don't know if we went ahead and read the whole report. I think we did tell them on the report it was off by a couple inches from one side of the house to the other.
Yes.
You know, so.
And then a whole bunch of people show up after that. Let's look at this video. I want to show the viewers just one more time, what it was like when you moved into your house. This is just it's just sad. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here. I know you guys went through this, but when I sit back, and it's just really hard to believe that this can happen. In my opinion, it's hard for me to just, anyways. So you guys are doing another video here well after you've moved in, and this is your living situation. This is how you guys have been living. Is this they're doing repairs in the bathtub? It looks like the bathroom here.
Yeah,
looks like there's gaps in the bathroom clearly to the naked eye there. Look like.
Yeah.
It's a mess, obviously. There's a gap in the counter, I see. The noise every single day. This noise, huh? Every day. But it does look like they properly got air ventilation now. So they got you air ventilation, proper air ventilation. How long did it take them to get that all set up like that? Was it day one? Was it 7 months down the road? When did this happen?
This is the upstairs. So they came, they set it up, and I think that specific setup was done. And I think in 3 days they took it down, right? Or like that. But
I think I had to take it down.
But the one downstairs, the first one we had, that was up for a few days. Every time you go, there's a zipper. Every time you go in and out, the dust flies. We asked them, because they didn't need to shave anymore. We asked them to come and
pick up the equipment and tear down all the plastic.
Tear out the plastic. And they said, okay, we need to wait until they decide. Finally, because every time we passed by, every time the door opened, there was airflow. The dust was coming all over. Mark put his mask on, and he's the one that took down the confinement. I don't know if he took that in too as he's taking it down.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's a brand new house. I'm going to show them 2 weeks before completion. So they completed everything in September, according to them. And here's 2 weeks before completion. Let's show them this video here.
I guess
the downstairs is looking better. It's got floor now.
Yeah.
It does.
And this was 10 months after you moved in.
Yeah.
This is 10 months.
This is where
Unreal.
we live.
And this is what you've been living like for
Exactly.
Actually, no, this is the improved version because there's not dust everywhere.
That's it. That's the improved version.
And there's not noise every single day per se. Wow.
Separated and stuff. But
That when I see the video, I feel like crying because it was very frustrating. It was very hard. It was just like somebody punched you in the gut because you are so hopeful. You have a dream, and it was just like day after day after day. It was even worse and worse and worse, and
Half the time the subs didn't even show up. So
it didn't show
you
up.
have to
And
be here and wait. Thank goodness I was retired and I was available to be here. But I mean, my whole life was on standstill for 9 months or so.
and it was hard to see Mark. I have to take him to the emergency room
Yeah.
because of the stress. It was hard.
And-
It should have been because it was a new home.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that comes to mind is, the first thing I'm thinking, I mean, like, okay, again, this is just at the top of my mind. I'm like, okay, they were dishonest. It appears they may have been dishonest in the walkthrough. It appears that they didn't actually fix the issues prior to closing, like they said. We uncovered all of this other stuff. A structural assessment was done saying that there could be additional defects. It's very, very scary. My next thought is did you guys ever even, talk to an attorney about this?
Yeah, we did go see an attorney, and he just advised us to do the what is that called?
The mediation.
The mediation.
The arbitration?
Arbitration, yeah, the arbitration. And
Now, when I first heard you say that, I was like, what? Now, my second question was, is when you talked to the attorney that said that they push you to arbitration, you should just try to get the home repaired. Did you have the structural assessment at the time of the conversation?
I don't believe
no,
so.
we did not.
Okay.
We did not. And what he advised us was be nice, so then you can have your house repaired.
So I looked into this a little bit more, and I want to show you guys something that I found. This here I found extremely interesting, and I think it's important to talk about this. This is actually a case of Lennar Homes of Texas versus Whiteley. And this is I never knew how powerful the arbitration clauses were with Lennar until I read this case. Essentially, someone named Cody sold their house to another person, and the other person noticed and claimed that Lennar it turned it into a mold house and did not complete it correctly. And Lennar was like, you can't sue us. To the new owner, you can't sue us because we require arbitration. And not only do they require arbitration, what I found is this. They put arbitration clauses in the actual warranty deed. So what they try to do, from me reading this case, is they try to pass this on to the new owner. And they're like, no, even though you didn't buy directly from us, you have to abide by the arbitration agreement. So they go to the case, they go to arbitration, and the arbitration is in favor of Lennar. And the other people are like, we didn't agree to the arbitration. It took them, from what I read here, 5 years to proceed on this case past arbitration. So it sounds to me that, attorneys understand that arbitration is a huge, huge thing for Lennar. I mean, that's what I see here. I mean, if it's in the actual warranty deed, and again, I know this was in 2014, but this is a scary situation. If it's me, I may feel helpless. I may not know what to do. So let me ask you this question.
We don't know where we didn't know what to do.
Well, step one, we have a mold inspector on the way, and he should be at the house any minute. Okay. And we'll tell, and we'll do another video, you guys. We're going to do a mold inspection. We're going to figure out what's there. We're going to try to do another structural report. Well, obviously they'll work with the warranty company as well, and we'll do an update on that. But I have a couple more questions before we end this. My first question, Mireya, is what's your profession?
Oh, I'm a registered nurse.
So you have a college education?
Yes.
Okay. And you still didn't use a realtor inspection and still sign the paperwork?
No.
And you have a college. My point in saying that is you're a well-educated family.
Yeah.
So I'm really trying to get through to my viewers that this can happen to potentially anyone. My second question, what advice can you give any potential homeowner of new construction?
Well, the first of all, I would say do your research. Not only looking at Lennar's website, but look at complaints websites. um, because Lennar puts all these beautiful things on their website and the beautiful videos that we trusted. And if somebody had even, I mean, if we were just naive, if we would have looked at complaints and stuff like that, I would say we need to either investigate a little more, get get an inspector throughout the process, and be more have more information before you buy a new home. So I would say do the research, get
Yeah.
an inspector to look at your house, and keep on their saying, document everything
Yeah.
that you say,
Yeah.
pictures, videos, emails. Tell them this is what's going on, this is what's going on. If we didn't have those videos, I don't think we would have any repairs done. If
Yeah.
we didn't have the pictures, if we were not looking at the house almost every day like we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made some mistakes, but I feel that what saved us a little bit for them to come and fix it was the video, the documentation we had.
Yeah. Now, last question. Would you ever buy a Lennar home again?
No.
No,
Why?
absolutely no.
Why is that?
No trust on them anymore.
Okay.
No trust.
All right. I
First
mean,
of all, we get a
They don't build a quality home.
no,
for
they
one.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't do what they said on the website, the qualification, the craftsmanship. There's nothing there. They don't.
yeah. And then, excuse me. Now, honestly, guys, and this is just my opinion. I've been doing this for 2 decades. I warn people about this all of the time. I feel like the industry has failed you. I feel like there should be a lot more regulation and restriction on new home builders. I feel like the industry expects you to know as much as Lennar, who again was the Lennar Mortgage Title Company. It appears they had a monopoly on the process, and society tells you, and the way the law or design tells you that you need to know all of your rights. You need to review 80 pages of documents and know what you can and cannot do. And what I'm saying, y'all, is that's just not fair, and that's just not realistic. And by that lack of regulation, it allows the potential, to victimize homeowners. Now, obviously, you guys will move forward with additional things, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I will do another video following up. If anyone wants to reach out to them, email me. I'll get you their contact information. If you want to help them, you guys, if you want to provide them any type of resources or really anything to help this family out, I think that we should do that, you guys. We're a community of potential homeowners. We're consumers. This is our voice here on YouTube. And what better people to help than actual consumers that are lost? They don't know what to do. It seems that their life was almost ruined because they put trust in a company that didn't meet those expectations. And it's a horrible thing. And it's a horrible thing. And you guys are educated, both Mark, you're educated, you're smart, you're intelligent people. I couldn't pass the test that y'all took. I mean, to be a nurse, this is a very sad situation. I just want to say I'm really sorry, and I'm saying it from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry that you guys had to go through this. I really hope that in the future this will turn into a good story. Maybe Lennar will say, you know what? We used a bad subcontractor. It was during lockdowns. We didn't know about this. We now know what's going on. Let us make it up to you, right? I think that would be a great solution. Who knows if that will happen, you guys? Obviously, they're a huge company. We're little people.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to
No
thank you.
expectations, but if we can reach out people and really investigate who you're buying from. Don't trust because of trusting. That's what happened to us.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shady business. Real estate is a very complicated, a very emotionally charged process, and I really appreciate you guys kind of telling your story. And I think that within the story there's a cautionary tale. And and none of us came on here and necessarily said that they have violated law necessarily. That's for attorneys and judges to decide. This is simply just a testimonial of the processes. They know it with some emails. And here's the thing. We withheld a lot of emails, and I withheld everyone's name for the most part on purpose. This is their business. But again, thank you guys so much for having the courage to speak out and to step up to warn your peers and fellow consumers. And before we go, y'all, do you want to say anything else? And we'll have you guys back on. Maybe we could do some Q&A. But do y'all have anything else to say? Mark, maybe anything to say before we go?
Just do your research. Your due diligence on buying a new home. Bring in a realtor to represent you. And like Mireille was saying. Go ahead and have a contractor or somebody that can come in and check the work as they're building the house, to make sure they're building a quality home like they're supposed to be doing, so
yeah.
Or I keep telling them, I didn't expect a mansion. To me, it was my mansion. I expected what I bought. That was given to be given to us. No, nothing more. Don't go beyond whatever. Just give me what we purchased. But that was not it.
I mean, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. And hopefully we could turn this situation into a good thing for some people. Obviously, I'm sorry to y'all, but I think that, at the very least, people are going to wake up to due diligence. That's what we're saying. Due diligence, right? It's an overwhelming process, and due diligence is needed. And here's the thing, you guys, we'll follow back up with you. I really, again, from the bottom of my heart, y'all, thank you for coming on today. And just sit tight with me, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your help.